And you ain't winning this race!
Sorry, can't hear you. Going too fast!
Looks like Nod's out of the race.
Alright folks, buckle up, because we're diving straight into the gritty underbelly of chaos with Havoc. A 2025 high-octane roller coaster of a film that doesn't just flirt with madness, it takes it out for dinner and buys it dessert. Directed by the audacious Gareth Evans, yes, the same maestro behind the Raid franchise. Havoc brings us a fusion of bruising combat, gripping tension, and an unrelenting tempo that punches through the screen like a freight train in full gear. With a cast headlined by the powerhouse Justin Cornwell and supported by fierce talents like Seyfried Metten, Megan Lockhurst, and the ever-badass Michelle Watterson, this film locks into its genre with a vengeance. It's crime, it's action, it's thriller, and it's gloriously unhinged. Released on April 24, 2025, Havoc has been stirring the digital cauldron. On YouTube, the trailer crossed 35 million views within the first 10 days, and TikTok? Oh, it's a jungle of fight scene edits, cosplay, memes, and that now viral line. You either run with the city, or the city runs you. That one has been memed into next week. Over on Twitter, yes, we're still calling it that, hashtag Havoc Carnage was trending in over 20 countries on release weekend. Facebook groups are ablaze with frame-by-frame analysis and at least 6 fan theories that the whole thing is actually a dream inside a dream. Social media didn't just respond, it exploded. This movie didn't tiptoe into the spotlight. It drop-kicked the door and lit the room on fire. Havoc throws us into a neon-drenched nightmare where a drug bust goes catastrophically sideways, and a weary detective, played by Justin Cornwell, is thrust into the very heart of a decaying metropolis infected with rot at every level. What was supposed to be a simple extraction turns into an all-out war through alleys, high-rises, and brutal back rooms of corruption. His mission? Save a high-profile politician's son who's not exactly eager to be rescued. And trust me, this isn't your damsel in distress situation. Everyone in this movie can and will throw down. As our antihero descends deeper into the rabbit hole, the lines between criminal and lawman blur like fog on a cracked windshield. Themes of betrayal, loyalty, and the ever-drifting compass of morality drive the narrative forward with the force of a shotgun blast. It's a film that doesn't slow down. Every scene is a ticking time bomb. Every character has an agenda. Every alley hides a knife. Let's talk performances. Justin Cornwell doesn't just carry the film. He drags it through glass with one hand while throwing punches with the other. His portrayal of the burnt-out detective is layered, cynical, and deeply human. There's rage, yes, but there's also weariness, regret, and a flicker of soul underneath the armor. Seyfried Metten as the morally ambiguous mob consigliere is a standout. His smile says charm, but his eyes say, I will absolutely feed you to dogs. Chilling and charismatic, a rare combo. Megan Lockhurst flips the femme fatale trope on its head, playing a journalist-turned-fixer who navigates the criminal underworld like a shark in designer boots. Smart, sarcastic, and sharp as a blade. Michelle Watterson, known for her MMA chops, brings a grounded physicality to her role as an enforcer with a conscience. She doesn't just fight, she flows. Her scenes are less about brute force and more about surgical precision, and she pulls them off with a grim poetry. The supporting cast? No slouches. Each one feels like they've lived in this city their whole lives, dirty, desperate, dangerous. Gareth Evans is a madman. And I mean that in the best way possible. His directorial eye turns chaos into choreography. He doesn't just show action. He orchestrates it. The pacing? Relentless but never bloated. He knows exactly when to hold a moment and when to rip it away. The story unfolds like a street brawl, messy, unpredictable, and shockingly elegant in its brutality. Evans' vision of this corrupted city is clear. It's not a backdrop, it's a character. A rotting, breathing, snarling character that's just as dangerous as the people in it. The script? Razor sharp. The dialogue crackles with grit and gallows humor. It's the kind of writing where one-liners feel earned, not inserted. Characters have depth. They're not just pawns for the plot. There are twists that genuinely jolt, but they're not cheap tricks. They're seeded with care, and when they bloom, you feel the sting. The script doesn't spoon-feed. It trusts the audience to keep up. There's subtext. There's nuance. And there's a healthy dose of verbal punches thrown alongside the physical ones. Visually, Havoc is like watching a fever dream directed by a war photographer. The camera work dances between elegance and chaos. Close quarters fights are filmed with an intimacy that makes you wince. Long takes glide through crumbling corridors and graffiti-laced streets like the city is bleeding right onto the lens. Lighting plays a massive role. Neon reds and icy blues clash like rival gangs. Shadows aren't just mood setters, they're predators. The visual storytelling here does heavy lifting, and the cinematography by Matt Flannery, Evan's longtime collaborator, deserves its own applause. Oh, the music! A character in itself. The soundtrack fuses industrial grunge with sleek synth. Imagine if Trent Reznor, Hans Zimmer, and a London-based underground DJ had a jam session in a power plant. Tense moments throb with low-end pulses. Action scenes explode with distorted bass lines, and quiet interludes are punctuated with haunting ambient echoes. The world of Havoc is crafted with brutal beauty. It's all crumbling infrastructure, flickering fluorescent lights, rust, rot, and attitude. Every room tells a story. Every hallway is a history of violence. The costume design is spot on. Our detective looks like he hasn't slept in a decade, and every villain oozes personality from their wardrobe choices. Whether it's bespoke suits or street-level grunge, this ain't your green screen CGI fest. When bones break and bodies fly, it feels real. Practical effects reign supreme. Blood, bruises, and busted glass are delivered with an almost artisanal attention to detail. That said, where CGI is used, it's seamless, augmenting rather than replacing reality. Explosions are dirty, brutal, and carry weight. No slow-mo ballet of bullets here. This movie's effects don't shout, "Look at me." They whisper, "This could happen to you." Box office. It blew past projections. $65 million in the first weekend, which is wild for a film this gritty. Critics praised its lean storytelling and brutal action, and fans called it a love letter to chaos. Beneath the shattered glass and cracked knuckles, Havoc wrestles with weighty themes. It's about the corrosion of power, about how systems fail people, about redemption, scraped out from the concrete one bloodied inch at a time. There's commentary on institutional rot, the complicity of silence, and the thin line between protector and predator. It's relevant without preaching. You feel the message like a bruise, not obvious at first but pulsing under the skin. Havoc leaves a mark. Not the kind you forget. The kind that lingers. That you carry with you when you turn off the screen and stare into the night a little longer than you meant to. It's not just entertainment. It's a visceral experience. A gut-punch opera of survival and consequence. Viewers across generations are finding something to latch onto. Whether it's the brutal realism, the layered characters, or the relentless storytelling,